Today I'm going to show you how you can separate the fat from pan drippings and put it in the fridge or the freezer to save for cooking later. Welcome to the Fermented Homestead. My name is Anna, and today I'm going to bring you along while I separate pan drippings from ground beef that I canned a couple of weeks back. I put it in the fridge and it's just been sitting there hardening up, and so we're going to take this top layer off and we're going to melt it in some water and then let it harden again, and we'll have separated fat for the future. So come along. Okay, so it's been a couple of weeks, it's been a while since I've done this, so we are just going to go ahead. Not sure what tools that I'm going to need, but I have 2 of these pan drippings from 12 pounds of ground beef that I canned a couple weeks ago. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to try and get this top layer of fat off by whatever means necessary here. Think about a knife. So the first step that you're going to do is just try and get this out of the pan. And it looks like we might be in luck. Well, that's not very solidified, but yeah, it just comes out in this nice little disc. And I have water here. It's kind of warmed, and we're just going to put the fat in there and let it melt. Same thing here. I took this out of the fridge probably about 20 minutes ago, but not very long ago at all. See? You just put it in there and kind of on a warm heat. I have it on medium, and so we're just gonna, I thought this would be thicker. Alright, so now all we're gonna do is we're just gonna let this melt naturally, and then that's all there is to it. Now that the fat has totally melted, we're going to go ahead and turn off the stove. I'm going to put this in the fridge and just let it cool down completely naturally. And then once it's all done, we can take that little disc out, and any of the little particles that might be in there will be generally stuck to the bottom or stuck along the bottom of the fat or along the bottom of the pan. And then we can just take it out, remelt it, and put it in whatever containers we want to store it in long term. And then what I ended up doing with the bottom liquid that was in there, it's a little bit thickened, but not like it should be. So I just went ahead and put them in jars, and I'm going to put them in the fridge, and then over the next couple of days or so, we'll just add it to any meals that we prepare. It's basically kind of like beef broth, but not super duper thick. So it's not wonderful, but it's not garbage. So we're going to go ahead and utilize that as well. So I will bring you back when we're ready for the next step after this has hardened in the fridge for several hours. Alright, so it's later on in the afternoon. It's probably about almost 4 o'clock. And the fat has completely solidified. So now what we're going to do is just get it off the edges here. Maybe it didn't completely solidify, but it's close enough. So we're just going to go ahead and fish this out of here. And this fat here is not going to be completely dry like you would want it to store long term in your pantry. So my plan for this is just to keep it in the freezer in a little mason jar and pull it out when we use it. I've done this a couple times and it works pretty well. I've never had any issues with it. It hasn't gone rancid or anything like that. So I'm just going to get much of the fat out of here as I can and try not to get any, well, try not to get much water. So all I'm going to do with this is just go ahead and put it on a very, very low heat on the stove until it has melted into a liquid, and then I'm going to transfer it into a mason jar. Alright, so now that the fat has melted completely, all we're going to do is pour it into a mason jar. Well, a couple mason jars. And you can see how beautiful and yellow this is. Well, looks like there's all the waters in the bottom of this one. So let's see if we can pour it off. I don't have one of those fancy fat separators, so let's see what we can do. Okay, I think I'm willing to get rid of that little teeny bit of fat in order to make it more shelf stable. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna empty a little bit of this into that one just so that they can solidify more evenly, and when I put them into the fridge, there's less chance that they'll explode. So this is really all you have to do with your pan drippings. You can do this with any kind of pan drippings, chicken, you know, beef, turkey, pork, whatever you like to do. You just set aside the fat, let it solidify in the fridge, and go through this whole process that we just did. Really quick, really simple, and a great way to get some nice healthy animal fats in your freezer. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.